Greetings, ladies and gentlemen of the freaking internet. Yes, 'tis I, the fatwikingknight, as always, coming to you from another episode here on a beautiful Sunday afternoon, as always. And today, kind of got to talk to you about something that is going on in my life right now, and I kind of feel it creeping up on me, and I'm certain that many of you around me can also relate to such a thing. That thing, of course, today is self sabotage. What I mean by this is, and if you're not a person, like if you're a healthy person and you don't do this at all, more power to you and you have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about, great. I am happy for you that you do not self sabotage. However, if you are like myself, and I'm sure many others out in the world right now and from ever, I guess, you tend to self sabotage. Now, what does that freaking mean? Well, to me, that is when you have something, it's going really well. And then you're like, ooh, you know what? What if we added a little bit of spiciness into this situation? What if we stirred up the pot a little bit and made this either much more difficult, impossible, or even catastrophic for us? Which of those things applies to you? Do you have it where you get all your things are going too well? You're like, God damn, this is amazing. Things are going well. This is great. This is the best thing that's happened all week, right? No, no, no. Because then this little blue devil creeps up on you and it gets you right when you least expect it to. It really, truly does. And I can't explain as to why it happens, why I tend to do it, how to fix it. I cannot help you with any of those questions and or problems. All I can simply do is kind of share my anecdotal experience with the scenario and hope that you are able to make better choices than myself. So, to make things very plain and simple, what's going on right now in my life is I have an opportunity to move up, to progress financially, and to grow as a person. And that to me is entirely fucking scary. Okay? The thought of being quote unquote successful and, I would say very mid range successful is fucking terrifying to me. And I don't know why. I tend to do this though all the time. I self fucking sabotage. I take those worries and fears that I have and I let it get to me. Not only do I let it get to me, but I also tend to overdo and indulge on what I'm currently doing, so much so that it turns out awry, that it turns out badly. And that is what I'm trying to prevent you guys so hard from running into. So I know that this is happening. I can feel it in my bones. Much like the older generation can kind of feel when the rain is coming, or if you have a fucked up knee and or bones that hurt you, you can kind of feel when it's starting to rain or when the rain's coming, when the inclement weather is not doing so hot kind of thing. You can kind of just feel it. You embrace it. You know that it's coming. And as a result, you feel it in your bones, right? Well, I feel this in my bones, and not in a good freaking way, let me tell you. I want so badly to succeed for no one other than myself. And myself also has this bit of self-doubt. Like, what if you are not up to scuff? What if you cannot do the things that you need to do once you are moderately more successful? What if you can't hold on to it? What if you can't sustain it? What if you are a different freaking person? All of these things and more come shooting into my head each and every single time any kind of decision comes to life. And I can't fucking stop it. I know it's happening, and I know the things that I need to do in that moment to be successful. And any other time, if I needed to do these things, it would be a walk in the park. I would be able to just simply do the thing that I needed to do because there's no pressure to succeed. But when there is that pressure to become a little bit more elevated than my current standing, that is when shit hits the metaphorical fan. That is when things start to really blossom and grow legs, becoming a little bit out of control. And that is fucking terrifying to me. It's not even the fact of being successful, I think, that is the terrifying part to me. It's the part that if I stop, I could fail and I could fall harder. And that just makes me want to be more frugal, more protective of the potential of a life that I could lead, you know? And that's definitely not the way to do it. I do this so often. I hold myself back. I kind of put myself in a chokehold and I tell myself, that's fucking stupid. You know that you might fail this, right? And I know that it is okay to fail. And again, on every other day, not a fucking problem. If I fail, I fail. It's not the end of the world. When an opportunity like this, however, comes, that is when I kind of force myself to fail. And it's really, really a tough mindset for me to get out of. I don't want to fail by any stretch of the imagination. I just don't, right? I want to do the best that I can do under the circumstances that I'm in. And I want to be able to feel some kind of success. But anytime there is risk of success, there is also risk of intense failure that surrounds that. And I think that truly is what is the most terrifying for me. Do you know how hard that is to just apply pressure and stay in the moment? Because anytime other than when it's important, I am really good at that. I take it and pressure is, what it is. It's just there as an obstacle and I rise above and overcome it. But when something is genuinely on the line and I know that there is a chance for elevation, that there is a chance to grow as a person, that's when I'm like, ooh, spicy time, baby. And it's bad. It's real, real bad. So I'm having to try and keep myself in check during this whole process. Until I have managed to succeed, I have to be willing to fail. And god damn, is that hard, and is it fucking terrifying. And I surely, truly cannot be the only one that has this issue as well. I think a lot of us have this innate desire to do more, to do better, to do wonders, whatever it may be, but a lot of us take that pressure and let it get too close to reality. And that's when we back out. That's when I back out. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. Had to take a drink. That was a long rant there, pretty much without a breath, I felt like. It was a real breath experience. But truly, I'm struggling with it. It's not easy. And I need to remind myself, and you guys need to remind yourself out there, that success is possible for you. Not only is it possible, but it's also inevitable. If you do something enough, you will succeed at whatever it is that you are trying to accomplish. Whatever your goal is, whatever your mission is, whatever it is, you have the capability to make it work. And you have the ability to succeed. It's just, do you have the desire and the willingness to do it? Is your mental faculties there enough that you can push yourself? And do you think it can be done? I think my issue specifically is I just focus so much on the failing part that it makes it very difficult for me to even try in the first place. And I know how that sounds. It sounds awful. It really does. But it is the truth. And that's a very difficult thing for me to deal with, and for me to deal with the potential failure of it all as well. Overall, just fucking difficult, and I hate it. I want it to be something that is more readily accessible to me and easier to obtain, but I understand why it needs to be just that little bit harder. Why it's called success for a fucking reason. You are able to channel and make something. You are able to finish that portrait that you've been working on, to write that story that you've been doing, to get that promotion you're trying to achieve. Whatever it is, you got the ability to do it. We all do. I don't think there is a soul in the world that doesn't have the ability to potentially succeed. Yes, some may take longer than others, and you'll have to try harder than others, and that's fine. You have to be okay with failing. And this is more of a pep talk for me, for myself, than it is for really any of you. And if it impacts any of you, great, wonderful. But it's more of a pep talk for me, to be completely honest with you. It really is trying to get my ass into gear and make it so that I can actually do the things that I want to do and not worry about the potential failures. I need to understand that the failures are actually going to help me, and eventually you have to let yourself succeed. Because if you don't, you're going to be stuck in the same thing that you were stuck in yesterday, the day before, the week before that, the month before that, the year before that. The same thing. You put off those goals because you're like, what if I can't do this? And one of the biggest things that I've done this with is my writing. I have not finished a single book yet. And I haven't because the same phenomenon. I have written a bunch. There is a lot underway for many different stories. But I feel scared to put myself out there in that regard, to put my words out there and to really grasp it, because it's immortalized, it's written down, and people are going to judge it. People may not read it, and it may be a complete failure, and you don't know until you put it out there. And this has been a constant stream for round about 10 years at this point. Maybe a little longer. Around about 10 years, though. I want to finish these things, and I don't allow myself to because I'm just worried about what the world will think about it. And it's so weird to me that I think that way simply because I don't give a fuck what anyone else thinks. But in this regard, when it comes to succeeding, I care so fucking much, and it's bizarre. I don't know how to fix it, and I don't know how to facilitate growth beyond that because I'm just stuck. Stuck at the point where I cannot get things under control, and I put things off. I start new projects. I do this in Minecraft. I do it in real life with writing. I do this with just about freaking everything, okay? It's a real freaking problem. I am really good at starting things, okay? When it comes to finishing them, though, that's where I don't know what specifically, but I'm going to venture to say my desire, willingness, and ability to do these things becomes scarce. It becomes so trivial and so impractical in my mind that I simply cannot do it. I just am halted in my tracks, and the project, whatever it may be, comes to a screeching halt. And I put it on the back burner. And guess what? I start another freaking project. I start another line, another vision, another idea, another whiteboard, another goal. I just start again because starting is so easy because it doesn't involve you actually succeeding. And I think that is the real kicker there. It does not involve you succeeding. There is zero expectations of you to finish that project once you've started it in the moment, right? Once the project has elapsed for longer than, I don't know, depends on the project, I guess, but longer than a week, a month, a couple months, that's when the expectations for myself start to be put into play. Well, what if it's shit? Why should I bother completing it? What if I just don't do it? And all of these self-doubts just come flooding in. And it's so wrong, and I hate it. I hate it so much. And I wonder what to do about that. Like, I'm wondering, but I'm also, like, kind of wondering in a rhetorical sense. Because I know, at the end of the day, it comes down to me. It comes down to my own personal self-admonishments. And it comes down to me. It comes down to just if I'm willing to put myself out there in that regard. And in a day and age where everything is so scrutinized, so criticized so heavily, I think it affects my ability to complete things. I've done it all my life, come to think of it, and completing things, completing any kind of task, following something through to the very end, especially if it was my idea to do it, is near fucking impossible for me. I've played this game for 15 years. A little over at this point. Because 2009, I believe. A little over. So, I've played it for that long. And in that entire time, I think I have finished a grand fucking total of one of my builds. This is just a silly example, but it is one of the prime examples here that I have to give to you guys. Because it's true. It freaking is. Can't finish the writings that I'm working on. Can't finish a project in Minecraft. And if I have an idea, it's so freaking incredibly hard to try and get to that finish line. To put it out there for the entire world to see, or even just me. Hard as fuck. But that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, ciao.